Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Baseball Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today. We'll be covering four different topics, and they are first just about the games that are on today with baseball, what's going on with spring training, just covering those, previewing those a little bit, even though they have started already. We'll be talking about them. Then we'll be talking about both AL and NL teams, what's their most impactful addition so far of the offseason, and how that affects their team going into the season. And finally, just some news around the league like usual. Just some news that I thought was interesting, wanted to talk about, but I didn't maybe thought didn't deserve its own segment. So now, before we do that, I would like to ask you to please like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers during the show that come in, so to ensure that your question does get read on air, I ask that you please use the tips and donation link you see on the screen, streamelements.com/GSMCSportsNetwork/tip. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I do see it, and it really does help the show, so thank you so much for that. All right, so we're going to be getting into our first segment here, which is what I talked about before, the games on today, and what's going on with that. So there are 4 spring training games on today. There's 6, actually. Some teams are playing, I think, minor league affiliate, but we're not going to really be talking about those. We'll be talking about the 4 games that are on with the MLB teams versus MLB teams. So, let's get it started. First, we're going to talk about the Royals Rangers and what to watch with that and what's going on with that. So the first thing is just a live update of the game. It is 1-1 right now, with it tied in the bottom second, obviously. Matt Duffy just singled in a run for the Rangers to tie the game up after Drew Waters, former Braves prospect who's now on the Royals, hit a home run. So, some exciting action in today's Royals Rangers game so far. So that's something to watch if you're a baseball fan, and just what's going on with that right now. Some things to watch in the game, of course. So first, obviously, it is the first Rangers game after them winning the World Series. The team does look a little bit different, and it is spring training, so of course they're going to look different in spring training as well. But it's just to watch, how is that title defense going to start? How is that team going to feel? Are they going to feel, like, okay, this is it. We got to start defending our crown now. This is our season. It's our championship to lose. How's the team going to feel coming out for their first game? Next, continuing with the Royals. I've talked about him before, and I'll continue to talk about him because he is a beast. Wyatt Langford is playing today for the Rangers. If you've watched my a few segments of my show the past few days, I love Wyatt Langford, and I think he's one of the better prospects in baseball. Guy was picked at the top of the draft from Florida this year and just tore up AAA. That was, after he tore up Florida, which is why he was part of the top of the draft as well. He's so good in my opinion. I think he's one of the best prospects in baseball, and I'm super excited to watch him this year and with the Rangers. I'm really, really high on him. Spoiler alert, I have him winning Rookie of the Year, even though he isn't up yet. I do think he makes the team out of camp. That's how good he is. Getting to watch Wyatt Langford, to me or any baseball fan, should always be a treat. He's very, very good. He's, going to be part of the Rangers core for a long time. Him and Evan Carter are going to be man in the corners of that outfield for a little while now. So, I'd look at Wyatt Langford today and what's going on with him and how he's going to play. Before we get to the part of the Royals, this game is actually tied 1-1 with the bases loaded, with no outs, and Josh Smith at the plate. So we'll see if anything happens with that while we're on live right now. Going to the Royals, this is their first game of the season, of course. It's their first game after their big additions, adding all the big additions in the offseason, guys like Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, Hunter Renfroe, Will Smith, those kind of guys. Even got John Schriebler a week ago around, who's a really good pitcher from Boston, who I think is going to help that bullpen a lot. So, just to watch that, see how the organization feels, see how players feel. Do they feel better about the team now? Do they feel, more proud to be a Kansas City Royal after the additions? Just how will that organization look different at all with putting a lot more stock into the team? Jake Brent, who is pitching for the Royals, just threw a wild pitch. So Sam Huff scored from third, so it is now 2-1 to Rangers. So Matt Duffy is on third, Ezekiel Duran on second, Josh Smith still at the plate, 1-0 count. So again, if something else happens with that, we'll update you on live time. So yeah. So those are the things I think we should be watching for this game, just kind of the storylines and what's going on with it. So yeah, if you do end up watching this game or just spring training baseball in general, I think that's something to see. Next game we'll be talking about is the Battle of Chicago, the White Sox versus the Cubs. So right now, currently, it is 6-0 Cubs in the top of the second. I think that's a fair assessment of how the White Sox season is going to go this year. Jesse Chavez was the opener for the White Sox. He obviously did not pitch very well, giving up 6 runs in the first to the Cubs. So yeah, not starting off great for the White Sox, but again, we all knew this. The White Sox are not going to be very good. I don't think it's a surprise or anything. So obviously it is spring training, but I think it's just a reflection of how the season is going to go for the White Sox, which is not very well. Some things to watch here. First, the Cubs' young pitcher, Jordan Wicks, is starting. Former first-round pick for them. I think he's going to be pretty good. Going to play a big part of that rotation for the Cubs. And as I say this, I believe he just gave up a home run to Tim Elko, so that's nice. But other than that, he was doing well before. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, Tim Elko homered for the White Sox, as I talked about how good Jordan Wicks could be. So that's pretty anticlimactic, but that's how baseball works, I guess. So yeah, I'm putting the home run aside. I'm very high on Jordan Wicks. I love his curveball. I think he's going to be a really good starting pitcher for the Cubs in the future. And even this year, he's going to play a big part of that rotation. So I'm really excited to watch him, see how he does perform, see how he plays. So yeah, I'm excited to watch that. I'm excited to watch him. The White Sox new additions are playing. That's another thing to watch. Obviously, it's not going very well for them right now, considering it is 6-1 in the second. But again, in spring training, everyone has to, get prepared a little bit. So the White Sox new additions that are playing are Kevin Pillar, Paul DeJong, Dominic Fletcher, Rafael Ortega, Martin Maldonado, Nicky Lopez, and the aforementioned Jesse Chavez, who obviously has not started out his tenure on the South Side very well. So yeah, those are some things to watch in the White Sox-Cubs game. Obviously, we just saw a homer. So yeah, Dominic Fletcher just got a hit as well off Jordan Wicks. So I talk good about a pitcher, and this is what happens, of course. So Josh Smith just walked in the Royals-Rangers game before. So Marcus Semien is now at the plate with the bases loaded, no outs. So we'll see if he does any damage. I'll let you know. But going down now, we have the Padres-Dodgers game to talk about. It is currently 2-0 Dodgers in the bottom of the second. Freddie Freeman homered on the first pitch he saw, so that's a nice start to second game for Dodgers fans, and fans hoping to see Freddie Freeman continue his slugging ways as a first baseman. So yeah, obviously it was 14-1 yesterday, Dodgers. Not a very good start for the Padres. Joe Musgrove was starting as well, and it was a blowout, so that's not very good. Obviously, Padres fans are probably hoping this game goes better. So, yeah, I think that's something to watch. What's going to happen with that? Are the Padres going to rebound? We'll definitely have to see. Also, to watch the Padres, you have Johnny Brito making his Padres debut. Obviously, didn't start off very well with Freddie Freeman homering, but I still think Brito is going to be a very good pitcher for the Padres in the future. Was a big part of the Juan Soto trade with the Yankees, of course. Brought back a good amount of pitching depth to San Diego, and Johnny Brito was part of that. I think he's a really good pitcher, really good player, and I'm glad the Padres got him to get more pitching depth in there. So yeah, just to watch him, how he performs in his Padres debut. Is the stuff on point? Is he going to look like a guy that was one of the centerpieces of a blockbuster trade? We'll see. So yeah, that's something to watch here. Next, we have Manuel Margot. He's making his Dodgers debut. I guess Dodgers fans will be excited to watch him. Kind of went under the radar a little bit with all the Dodgers additions. Was acquired with Tyler Glasnow in that big trade in December, January. I forget when it actually was, but yeah, gonna play a nice role for the Dodgers. Probably plays a platoon role with Jason Hayward, and also a fourth outfielder role as well, bringing some late game defense and speed to the mix. So I think it was a good move by the Dodgers to bring him in. Good depth as well for them, and I think he'll play an important role in this team, maybe even though he is getting a little overshadowed with all the stars on the team and the stars that they have added this season as well. Final game, Rockies Diamondbacks. Not much to talk about with this game. First game of the pennant defense for the Diamondbacks, of course. They made the World Series last year, so trying to defend that this year, and it starts in spring training. It starts with the first game of the year, so that's something to watch. Jock Peterson is making his Diamondbacks debut. He is going to be their primary DH with Randall Grichuk. They're going to play a platoon role, so something to watch for Diamondbacks fans. See how this turns out. See how he starts off his tenure with Arizona. Not much to talk about with the Rockies. Some of their prospects are playing, I guess, but no one really too notable to talk about. If you've watched my videos, you know I don't really feel very fond about the Colorado Rockies. I think they don't know what they're doing. That's what I really think. They're just kind of there. So, yeah, I mean, not much to say about Colorado and what's going on with them. So, yeah, we have a few minutes, so we're just going to go over what's going on in the games right now, see if we can catch any exciting moments. I'm going to take a little swig of water, then we'll talk about it. Sorry about that. Also, wanted to mention at the last episode, at the end, but I forgot. Sorry if I was sneezing a little bit or doing anything like that last episode. I am a little bit under the weather, so if that came out on the mic, I apologize. I tried doing it a little bit away from the mic, but if it did come out or I sniffled as well, I do apologize if it disrupted your listening time, so sorry about that. But moving on here. So Diamondbacks, Rockies, just nothing going on as I expected. Again, kind of just an irrelevant game. We don't really know what's going to go on with that. No one really kind of cares. Diamondbacks fans probably care. Rockies fans, I don't really know. So Royals, Rangers, and Evan Carter just hit a sacrifice fly. So Rangers are on the board now 3-1. Their former pitcher Cole Reagans is in, so he's pitching against his former team. My guy Wyatt Langford is up, so we'll see if he can do anything good against Cole Reagans. The White Sox, they have scored a run. They scored a run before. It is 6-1 now still. So after that, Dominic Fletcher singled. Rafael Ortega grounded into a force out, and Martin Maldonado reached on a fielding error by the pitcher, Jordan Wicks. Nicky Lopez is up now with men on first and second with 2 outs. Maybe trying to get this game back into contention with the White Sox. Obviously, he's not a big power hitter, but maybe can do something here. Obviously, he was acquired from the Braves in that Aaron Bummer trade, so we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, we're just waiting on Wyatt Langford and all these guys to see what happens here. So yeah, just going over what I was talking about before. Yeah, I'm very okay. Sorry. Before I talk about that, Wyatt Langford grounded out, so that is the end of the inning for them. We're gonna shift over to the White Sox Cubs game, and after that, we'll probably go to our next segment. But just talking what I was talking about, I'm very interested to watch Johnny Brito a little bit more, not just in this game, but in the entire spring training. I thought he was overshadowed in the Padres-Yankees trade because of Soto, because of Michael King. So, I'm really excited to watch him, see what he can do for the Padres, see what depth he brings to that team, and if he can bring another dimension to them. I like his stuff. I'm hoping it's working this year and bring something to the Padres staff. That's something to watch, I think. 0-1 right now in the White Sox-Cubs game, 6-1 Cubs. Nicky Lopez at the plate. The Cubs have put in a new pitcher, Hunter Biggie. He has 2 career games in the major leagues and has a 27 ERA. This sounds like spring training. We'll probably go to the end of this at-bat here, and we'll see what happens. Nothing. There's an on-field delay. I don't know what that is. But I think, so that's what's going on right now with this game. But again, what we talked about, just going over this segment, is Royals, Rangers, what's going on with that, who to watch. As the game continues to go on, we'll update all these games as I'm on live, and I'm sure audio listeners can hear it as well. The Battle of Chicago, the Cubs and the White Sox, what's going on there, and what we're talking about the game right now, of course, 1-1 count. And just to watch all the White Sox editions as well as the Cubs. Padres, Dodgers, Can the Padres bounce back after a rough game yesterday? Johnny Brito, I've talked about him a few times now. Manuel Margot, can he do something in his Dodgers debut and make Dodgers fans hopeful for his season this upcoming year? And Rockies Diamondbacks, just the first game of the Diamondbacks, definitely not the Rockies. The Diamondbacks title defense for the NL, and seeing what happens with that. Rafael Ortega just stole third base for the White Sox. It is now a 1-2 count with Nicky Lopez at the plate. We'll see if anything happens here, and then we'll probably go to break. 2-2 count now. Going over the other games quickly right now. 2-0 Dodgers. Man on first and second for the Padres with Tyler Wade at the plate, so maybe they'll do something while I'm going to break. We don't know. Nicky Lopez still at the plate here. Some other games that are going on that I didn't really talk about were the Huskies versus the Red Sox. They're a minor league affiliate. Red Sox blew them out, thankfully. Something nice for Red Sox fans, I guess, here now. See that. We also have Golden Gophers versus the Twins tonight. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what goes on there. And, I think that's pretty much it for this segment. We'll probably update the White Sox-Cubs game after. It was going a little too long for my liking. So, we'll come back after the break. We'll probably update you what happened with that. And then we'll go to our next segment as well after that, which is AL teams, what their most impactful addition was this offseason. And we'll just be talking about it. So, we're going to take a break, but then we'll see you after that. So, thanks.